made a hard landing on his way back from Azerbaijan. Iran authorities informed that the helicopter had to make a forced landing in Jolfa, a border city of Azerbaijan, due to inclement weather. A special commission has been reportedly established to carry out the search and rescue operation. However, authorities say the weather conditions in the area of the accident are not favorable to facilitate the search operation. Raisi was returning from a meeting with Azerbaijani President Aliyev and was accompanied by Foreign Minister Hussein Amir Abdullahian, Governor of East Azerbaijan Province Malik Ramati, and other passengers. Iran's Minister of Health, Treatment and Medical Education said all medical facilities, transport and health staff have been deployed in the Mes Songon area where the helicopter carrying Iran President Ebrahim Raisi crashed on Sunday. On the other hand, the Islamic Republic news agency IRNA reported that all search and rescue measures for possible victims of the crash have been implemented in the Mes Songon area, where dense fog is making the rescue operations very difficult. However, the Iranian Ministry of Health assured that all is guaranteed to provide assistance to the victims once they are found. Iranian Interior Minister Ahmad Bahidi confirmed on Sunday that a helicopter carrying President Ebrahim Raisi crash-landed in the city of Holfa in the northwestern Iranian province of East Azerbaijan. The helicopter was carrying President Raisi, Foreign Minister Hossein Amir Abdullahian, East Azerbaijan Governor Malek Ramati, and several other passengers when it encountered difficulties and was forced to make a crash landing in Jolfa, a town bordering the nation of Azerbaijan. Officials confirmed the area where the crash occurred is one of the areas that is difficult to access and it is not possible to travel by car. It is very rainy and foggy, and an orange weather warning was issued yesterday for this area. At the crash site of the president's helicopter, huge boulders more than 70 meters high are back-to-back, which has prevented rescuers and people from searching and moving forward. Popular groups and teams have been formed in the Kadarash region to search for the president's helicopter. Popular teams Red Crescent, Basij, Sepa, and people from nearby villages are currently searching, but weather conditions do not allow them to continue. The Palestinian Ministry of Health reports that the Israeli occupation army killed 70 people and injured 110 others in Gaza during the last 24 hours. According to the report, the death toll from the latest attack against the different provinces in the Gaza Strip has increased to 35,456 since October 7th. The health authority also said at least 79,476 have been wounded, many of them still trapped under the rubble. In Palestine, at least 20 civilians were killed in a new massacre perpetrated by the Israeli army in the center of Gaza Strip. According to Wafa news agency, Israeli aircraft bombed a residential compound north of the Nusayrat refugee camp overnight on Saturday. The attack claimed the lives of at least 20 people and left a significant number of wounded, including children, who were rescued from the rubble. Since the beginning of its genocidal war last October 7th, Israel has killed 35,386 Palestinians and injured more than 79,000, while 1.7 million people have been displaced, according to the United Nations. Thousands of Palestinians face weather shortages in the Gaza Strip, while the number of displaced by the recent Israeli aggression on Rafah increases to 800,000. The occupation army's constant bombardment has destroyed most of the water treatment plants and sewage systems in Gaza, affecting at least 2.3 million residents of the besieged enclave. According to reports from the World Health Organization and other agencies, water shortages and poor sanitation are leading to a proliferation of diseases such as cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, and hepatitis. The United Nations Refugee Agency also reported that the lack of access to safe drinking water further aggravates the situation of around 800,000 Palestinians who have been displaced recently due to the Israeli attacks on Rafah.
We travel long distances to fill 1 or 2 containers with water. Salt water also does not exist. There are no wells. There are no services. Humanitarian services are non-existent. Our homes were destroyed and our children were killed. We live in tents. The heat killed us. Frankly, we live in humiliation and fatigue.
Thousands of people took to the streets of central London to reject the Israeli genocide against the Palestinian people and to demand an immediate stop to the aggression. The demonstration was organized by the group Campaign of Solidarity with Palestine, with hundreds of sympathizers carrying banners with phrases of support to the people of Gaza and with Palestinian flags. Israeli sympathizers were also present at the rally, unleashing tensions and threats of confrontation that had to be controlled by the police. The march coincided with the week marking the 76th anniversary of the Nakba, the massive displacement of Palestinians that took place after Israel proclaimed its illegal existence on May 15, 1948.
In Gaza doing the work, the amazing work. God bless them. And there are others who lost their lives. More than 146 journalists lost their lives during this genocide. And till now, they can't get it stopped. Till now, people losing their lives.
The Gazan photographer also denounced the complicity of the world powers that continue to finance the genocide against the Palestinian population.
Children,
Voting is underway in Dominican Republic on Sunday to elect the nation's president and vice president, as well as its senators and deputies for the period 2024-2028. More than 8 million Dominicans will be able to exercise their right to vote in more than 16,000 polling stations distributed in more than 4,000 precincts throughout the country. The voting opened at 7 a.m. Sunday local time and will extend until 5 p.m. The first results are expected to be announced 3 hours after the closing of the polling stations. In addition to the president and vice president, Dominicans will elect 32 senators, 190 deputies, and 20 representatives to the Central American Parliament.
Voters are expected to select the future president of the republic as well as the vice president, 32 senators, 190 deputies, and 20 representatives to the Central American Parliament with an equal number of alternates. The elections will take place in 16,726 polling stations distributed in 4,286 precincts throughout the national territory. According to the Electoral Registry of the Central Electoral Board, more than 8 million Dominicans are qualified to exercise their right to vote. The electoral race has been characterized by several crucial issues for the Dominican society, among them the migration challenge posed by the crisis in Haiti, which has generated an important flow of migrants to the Dominican Republic.
In an exclusive interview with TeleSUR, the Dominican political analyst of the non-partisan movement Participación Ciudadana, Francisco Álvarez, denounced irregularities by the nation's ruling party ahead of the country's general elections.
And in this fourth report, which basically covered the presidential and congressional campaigns, we pointed out some positive aspects, such as the confidence in the Central Electoral Board, the Superior Electoral Court, by the citizens. But we also made some criticisms, for example, in the use of resources. Well, obviously, by the ruling party of the Dominican Republic. It is a wrong tradition in our country. There has always been a use of state resources in favor of the party that is governing. And that moment, and this time we criticize, for example, a documentary showing the President of the Republic using images of the National Palace. The electoral law prohibits public officials, especially those who seek to be elected, from using the image of public property.
In another part of the interview, Alvarez also informed that 1,600 observers will be deployed at the voting centers to guarantee compliance with the electoral laws during the Dominican Republic's elections.
Look, this time we'll have 1,600 people distributed throughout the national territory. They will be present in all the municipalities of the Dominican Republic, in all the provinces, and they will do their job as observers in two different ways. There is a group that is going to be itinerant. That is to say, it will go from voting precinct to voting precinct. It will obviously have the precincts already selected to visit them. And through an application in our platform, it will be transmitting directly to our operations center that will be here in the Participación Ciudadana headquarters. They will detect if there has been proselytism in the voting centers, if there has been buying of ballots in the voting precincts. In short, any violation to the electoral law will be raised by those itinerant observers.
Let's review the profile of the candidates, starting with current President of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, who is a candidate for the presidential elections. Luis Rodolfo Abinader Corona is a Dominican economist, businessman, and politician who has been president of the country since August 2020. His main agenda for this electoral campaign is the fight against a Haitian migration with actions such as massive Haitian deportation and the closing of borders. His present administration has been characterized by being in line with the regional and continental right-wing positions. He also signed a cooperation agreement with the United States aimed at financing energy, tourism, and other infrastructure projects. He is a member of the Modern Revolutionary Party. For his part, Leonel Antonio Fernandez Reina is a writer, lawyer, professor, and politician who was president of the Dominican Republic from 1996 to 2000 and then from 2004 to 2012. Among his main initiatives are the implementation of a national digital system of integrated public services, the establishment of a national registry of overseas, and the articulation of a national system for denouncing corruption. Fernandez has been president of the People's Force Party since October 20, 2019. Finally, let's move on to Abel Martinez, who is a politician, educator, lawyer, and current mayor of the city of Santiago de los Caballeros. He has also been a legislator in the National Congress and has served as president of the Chamber of Deputies of the Dominican Republic. The leader has stated that the country deserves an urgent change of course, given the dark panorama that in his opinion the population is suffering. Martinez belongs to the Central Committee of the political party of the Dominican Liberation. We have come to the end of this news brief, but you can find this and many other stories on our website at telesurenglish.net and join us on social media, Facebook, X, Instagram, Telegram, and TikTok. This is all for the moment. I'm Alejandra for TeleSUR English. Stay tuned.